6 months of studying English, hundreds of hours of practice. And when the waiter looked at me and said, "What can I get you?" my mind went completely blank. Not one word came out. Welcome to Fluent Speak Lab, the place where real stories teach you real English. Not textbook English, not boring grammar rules. The kind of English you actually use in real life. If you're tired of studying but still can't speak, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and let's grow together. 6 months. 6 months of waking up early, opening apps, watching YouTube videos, repeating phrases into the mirror. "Hi, how are you?" "Perfect. I'd like to order, please." "Smooth. Could you repeat that?" "No problem." I had practiced all of it. I had a notebook full of vocabulary. I had sticky notes on my bedroom wall. I was ready. Or at least, I thought I was. My name is Daniel. And this is the story of the day, my 6 months of English. Practice meant absolutely nothing. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I had just moved to the US 3 weeks ago from a small city in Bangladesh. Everything was new. The streets, the sounds, the people. Even the air felt different. My roommate told me about this burger place nearby. He said, "Dude, you have to try it. Best burger in the neighborhood." I thought, okay, this is my chance. A simple task. Walk in, read the menu, order a burger, pay, leave. How hard could it be? I had done this in my head 100 times. I walked in. The place was busy, not too crowded, but busy enough. There was music playing, people laughing, the smell of fries and grilled meat. I stood in line. I looked at the menu on the wall. I recognized everything. Classic burger, cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, large fries, Coke. Simple. I know these words. I've said these words. The line moved. One person left, then another, and then it was my turn. The guy behind the counter looked at me. Young guy, maybe 22. Friendly face. He smiled and said, "Hey, what can I get for you today?" And that was it. That was the moment. My brain, the same brain that had practiced for 6 months, just stopped. It was like someone had cut the power. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. He was still smiling, waiting. I looked at the menu again. I knew what I wanted. I could see the words. But I couldn't, for some reason, push them out of my mouth. 5 seconds passed. Then 10. He said, "Take your time, man." That made it worse. Take your time. 3 simple words. Meant to be kind. But in that moment, those 3 words hit me like a wall. Because now I wasn't just someone ordering food. I was someone who needed extra time to order food. I pointed at the menu. I said, and I remember this clearly, I said, "That one." He looked at the menu. "The classic burger?" I nodded. "Fast. Too fast. Any sides? Fries? Onion rings?" "Yes," I said. "Which one?" Pause. "Fries," I whispered. "Drink. Coke." "Size?" I didn't answer. I didn't know what to say. In my head I was screaming, "Medium. Say medium." But my mouth would not move. He waited one more second, then said, "Medium, okay?" I nodded again. He took my money, gave me a number, and I walked to a corner table and sat down. I didn't feel hungry anymore. I felt embarrassed. I felt stupid. I felt like, what was the point? 6 months. 6 whole months. And I couldn't even order a burger. I sat there replaying everything. The blank mind. The pointing. The nodding. The whispered fries. I texted my roommate. "I think my English is broken." He called me laughing, but not in a mean way. He said, "Bro, that happened to me too." First 3 months, I pointed at everything. That made me feel slightly better. But only slightly. Because here's what I couldn't understand. Why? Why did my brain freeze? I knew the words. I had practiced. So what went wrong? I went home and I sat with that question for a long time. And then I found the answer. And once I understood it, everything changed. Here's the truth that nobody tells you when you're studying English. Knowing a word and being able to use it under pressure are two completely different skills. Think about it like this. You can practice swimming in your bedroom all you want, watch videos, study the movements, practice the arm strokes. But the moment you jump into actual water, your body panics. Because the real thing is different from the practice. That's exactly what happened to me in that burger place. My English was bedroom English. It worked perfectly when there was no pressure, no real person, no time limit. But the moment a real human being was standing in front of me, waiting, with other people behind me in line, my brain switched into panic mode. And in panic mode, all that practice went silent. So what's the solution? How do you take your English from the bedroom into the real world? That's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. There are 3 things that saved me, and I want to give them to you right now, because if I had known these earlier, that Tuesday afternoon would have gone very differently. Number 1, filler words are your best friend. Native speakers use them all the time, and they don't make you sound weak. They actually make you sound more natural. Here's what I should have said when my brain froze. Let me see. So, I think I'll go with, actually, can I get? These small words buy you time. They keep the conversation moving. They signal to the other person, I'm thinking, not panicking. Practice these out loud right now. Let me think. So I'll have, actually, I'd like. Did you say them? Good. Say them again. Louder. Number 2, you don't need perfect sentences. You need keywords. When I was frozen, I was trying to build a perfect sentence in my head. I would like to order a classic burger with fries and a medium Coke, please. That's too much pressure. Instead, just say the key words with confidence. Classic burger, fries, medium Coke. That's it. The person behind the counter will understand you perfectly. They do this all day. Short, clear, confident. And here are some real ordering phrases you can use anywhere. Can I get a? Most natural, most common. I'll have the. Sounds confident and smooth. Could I also get? When you want to add something. What comes with it? When you want to know what's included. Can I substitute the fries for a salad? If you want to change. That's everything. Thanks. To end the order cleanly. Write these down. Practice them tonight. Number 3, and this is the most important one. You have to get comfortable with imperfect moments. Here's what I know now that I didn't know then. Nobody is judging your English as harshly as you are judging yourself. That guy behind the counter? He didn't go home and tell his family about the guy who couldn't speak. He served 300 people that day. You were just one of them. The moment you stop trying to be perfect and start trying to be understood, your English will unlock. Because fluency isn't about 0 mistakes. Fluency is about keeping the conversation moving, even when you're scared, even when you freeze, even when you point and whisper fries. 3 weeks after that Tuesday, I went back to the same burger place. Same guy behind the counter. I walked up, looked at him and said, "Hey, can I get a classic burger, large fries, and a medium Coke? Oh, and actually, can I substitute the ketchup for mustard?" He said, "Absolutely. Good choice." And I walked to my table and I smiled the entire time. Not because my English was perfect, but because I kept going. And that's the real lesson. It's not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to speak anyway. Every single person you admire in English, they froze too. They pointed too. They whispered too. The only difference? They didn't stop. Your challenge this week: go somewhere, order something, and use at least one phrase from today's story. Then come back and tell me how it went in the comments. If this story helped you, share it with one friend who needs it. Subscribe to Fluent Speak Lab, because every week, we have a new story and a new lesson waiting for you. Keep speaking. Keep growing. I'll see you in the next one.